Oh my gosh. Another day. It's been a little bit. Sorry, this December's just been busy as crap for me. However, today, I think over on Twitch, I think it's like Octobox something rather. Well, I wanted to show that because right now I have about 85 public repos and I don't know, several thousand notifications through GitHub. And I like needed a better way of organizing my development environment. And keeping up with that many projects is a little bit crazy. I don't know why I made so many repos, but there's just a lot. So I thought we'd go through some of that. WinUtil has some stuff. Oh man, I wanted to hit some F# too, because F# is like one of my favorite programming languages. I don't know why. I just really like it. It's like, I don't know, just feels good, I guess. And that's why I like using it. Even though most people like just use C#. But regardless, that's kind of where we're at. I've been working a little bit on DWM in the background and messing around with that. I don't know if it's just a fruitless endeavor because everyone's like, hey, I'm going to use Wayland. I'm going to use, you know, all the other things, the hyperlands of the world. So I don't know. I feel like I'm just wasting my time. But at the end of the day, I'm kind of like, well, it works and I like it and it's minimal. It's like 100 kilobytes. But I think I'm the only person in the world that's ever going to use this. I guess I'm okay with that. I made peace with it. But I don't know. Let's get on the desktop. Start looking at the project, the backlog, all the things. My goodness, there's just so much to do. Enough chitty chat, and we'll get on it. We'll be good. We'll be good. Ah, yes, new mic. Oh, you gotta love the mics, right? All right, what do we get? Ooh, all right.
Yeah, well, the dude abides.
Oh, how's it going, Yaz? Thanks for the prime. Oh, let's see. All right, let's see what we got. All right. This, I think Octobox GitHub work. Let me just explain that real fast because you might be like, what the hell is going on? So Octobox, if you're not familiar on GitHub, most people do not have this problem. Let me just say right now, most people, this is a very much a me problem, not most people. But I have about 1,000 something notifications, and I kind of needed those GitHub notifications divided up. And there's something called octobox.io. It's free, and I've just been using it for like a year or so, off and on. And it's able to sort merges, issues, everything, and kind of put it in like a heads-up display with like Gabby put this in. I also fixed the order for original tweaks, but he closed it. So I can kind of see what's happening with certain pull requests. And then I can just hit archive and then that notification goes away. Pretty cool. But it also does like all the different projects. Kind of gives me a baseline too of different issues and other notifications depending on project too. Which is really neat. I love it. So yeah. Yeah, you, Gabby, you spam the living hell out of me. I think like 30 notifications. God bless. Do you sleep? But yeah, no, I mean, it's fine. We'll look through some of them. But yeah, in like part of that too, like I think of development work too.
Yeah, well, the dude abides.
3A, thank you so much for the prime. When I think of development work, I struggle with balance. And what I mean by that is when I kind of look at this graph and there's code review, there's pull requests, there's commits, just different things depending on the year. I think, let me refresh this. Is that accurate? Let me see, what was this one? This 2024, 2025. So a lot of it is code review, I find, and I'm not a huge fan of code review. Sometimes it's okay, but a lot of times I end up doing too much code review, and then I'm like, I hate this. And then I'm like, screw it, I'm taking a break. So a lot of times I might just ignore a project for like several months and just let all the PRs just kind of see where they fall, where they may, and then come back to it when I'm feeling up to it. And then I like to just work on projects too and just kind of explore. So I don't know. I kind of go back and forth on that. Your on-screen chat is all jacked up. Oh, well. Do I have like a chat? I don't know. Maybe. Here, I'll turn that off, maybe. Hard to say. Should be fine, though. Yeah. It's fine. So, let's go through some Octobox real fast, just to kind of showcase what this is. This was something that happened just, 11 hours ago. And this is a filter, actually. It was Diablo 2 Resurrected filter I made for a project. Anytime I work on something, I like to make a Git repository for it. One, it acts as a backup, and two, sometimes people will actually contribute or maybe even give me a heads up of what's going on with it. So even if it's something like a game, a lot of times I'll make a Git repo for it if I put up that. So for this, if you're not familiar with Diablo 2, it's an old game. They made a remastered version that updated graphics, and I didn't like the fact there was no loot filter, so I programmed in a loot filter and changed some of the mods to better display certain things. I think it changed all the UI to be more controller friendly. And then I was kind of hoping someone would just take it and then fork the project and kind of do its own thing. And that was just a fun little pet project, but I'm going to archive that. I'm not going to add any more localization to it because I don't really care. And I don't really even play the game that much, but I do need to update the stash tabs. Maybe I'll get around to it. WinUtil, I've been working a lot on actually the last couple days. I just absolutely love WinUtil because anytime I have a new setup, I pulled up, and you know what, I'm gonna pull up chat for this one. I actually had something happen that I thought was kind of wild, and it was an old Arch laptop I hadn't used in about a year. I've had the MacBook and been using that mostly, but then I was like, I kind of want to work on this certain project while I was at my day job yesterday, and I was working on the project, and I was like, I'm gonna update this Arch laptop that's sat in my drawer for a year, and maybe not quite a year, probably 6 to 8 months. Now, if you rewind back in time 5 years, this means it would be completely broken. If you leave Arch for several months, it's just not a good idea. Dude, I don't know what the Arch team is on, but it is so stable. It had been so long, and it updated almost without a hitch. I think there was a couple dependency packages I had to clear out that were just no longer there. They just kind of disappeared or stopped being maintained, and people abandoned them, or they got replaced by a newer project. But I mean, we're talking 2 or 3, and that's just going to happen in any Linux distro over the course of a year or two. And Arch just updated, and I got to thinking, Arch Linux might just be the only distribution you might need, at least for me, because it's stable enough now to where I never really have to worry about it breaking. It just works, and I get every new package that I want, and I'm like, this is kind of insane how good Arch Linux has become. Now, a lot of people use Cache and variants of Arch, but I don't know, man. If you have the aptitude to install Arch, I mean, there's just no reason to use anything else, I want to say. Now, for new users and maybe noobs out there, that's maybe not the case, but yeah, we'll see. It's kind of crazy, though. I mean, Yeah, and honestly, you can still break Arch with, I think, probably doing like a lot of AUR crap. Like if you're on, there we go. Where's a fresh workspace? If you're on, and if you do like paru dash capital Q lowercase m, you can see what you're using out of the AUR, and you can see what I have in the AUR. And like I like to kind of go through here and go, what am I using here? Like QT, what? Why is that there? GTK engine mirroring. I don't know what that's for either. And you might be thinking, what is this RNSC? That also grabs any dependencies. So it kind of tells me what it is, but I kind of like to keep this as clean as possible. So if I see something, I'm like, I don't think that's needed. I'm just going to go ahead, get rid of that. Anything else? What's TTFIA writer? I don't know. Let's get rid of that too. So time zone update. Yay, that's for the package manager. I like to kind of keep this as clean as possible. Let's see, did we break anything? See, I didn't. Those packages I probably got installed for something, but I don't know what the hell the reason for them being there is. So I'm just going to remove them. And now you can see I'm only using, and I like to keep it less than 10 packages. And if you don't include the debug packages, we're really only at 7 packages in here. And most of that's just like icon themes and crap like that. Try to limit AUR usage at, you know, why do I have cursor installed? Cursor sucks. Get out of here, cursor. Yeah, like, yeah, 6 packages.
Yeah, well.
And I think it's really important on Arch not to overuse the AUR. That's another thing I think most people screw up. Yeah, just use the AUR as sparingly as possible. And kind of, it's gonna install stuff too.
Yeah, well.
So don't get too crazy. Don't get too caught up in it. And just try and keep it as minimal as possible, because when you look, we're almost at 600 days now. It's crazy. Jimmy, hello. Thank you for resub at 3 months, and Shadow Storm Gaming. Thank you so much too. And I'm back, yes. At least for a little bit. I'm sure I'll stream next week as well, and then I'll probably be off until the beginning of the year. So that's it. Most streaming, I actually haven't made very many YouTube videos as well. I kind of wanted to get back to doing some Linux stuff. There's currently a bunch of Windows hate going on, which is kind of, well, it's not really that surprising, but it's gotten really mainstream now. I actually saw Cold Fusion, which is a big YouTube channel, made a Windows and shitification video, essentially. And I was like, well, welcome to the party, you know? That's pretty cool. And it's nice to see everybody hating on Windows, especially with what Microsoft has been doing. It's kind of insane. So it makes me go, okay, I probably need to do a couple Linux videos on this as well. But at the same time, you know, at least every month or two, I try and get at least a WinUtil update and video out. WinUtil's currently been updating, oh shoot, almost every couple weeks at the current structure this past year. So we've been updating that quite often. So you install Chrome Flatpak and not the AUR. I use chaotic AUR quite often now. It sounds like AUR, but it's not really. So if you're not familiar with that, we can look at our pacman.conf. AUR? Yeah, chaotic AUR. Couldn't spell chaotic. You can just add this, and I think there's a website to do it, but I use that as an actual bin repo. So there's a couple other AUR packages in there, but the chaotic AUR is like AUR Lite, where some binary files like Chrome, which if we grep Chrome, let's see, I think that's from the chaotic AUR. You'll notice that is not in the actual AUR, and it's not built. It's actually downloaded from the chaotic AUR, which is just another repository of binary files. Chaotic AUR. You can go to archaotic.cx, and it's pretty easy to install. You just follow the setup instructions, So do it. Highly recommend it. It's a great way to expand the repo and just get some of the like core packages. The main issue I have with the AUR in general from Arch Linux is it can have really out-of-date packages. It can get kind of wonky with those out-of-date packages and install a bunch of stuff, and I hate it when people lean on it. But I think if you want to expand Arch and install other packages, I highly recommend Chaotic AUR. I've yet to run into a problem with it. And you know me. If there's a problem, I'll find it. And I will literally be there and be doing that. So, yeah, that's totally where I'm at. And I'm using Cashy kernel too. Cashy kernel's been pretty good. I haven't run into too much. Yeah. So it's my way of doing it. I still don't like Flatpak that much. I still use Flatpak and App Image. If you're going to use Flatpak, obviously just use Flatpak. App Image, I like to manage a different way as well. So for you new Linux users out there, get a program called Gear Lever. Gear Lever, what it does is when you're in your browser, I'll pull this up. Unless that didn't work. Ah, hell. What happened? No, cancel. Man, why do I have that installed anyways? Gear Lever. Oh, it's launching the wrong one. Oh, my bad. Having trouble waking up today. Oh, well. So we can take these, and it manages your app images for you. And the cool thing about this, my color scheme's a little bit off here. What do we got going on here? So usually I clone them. Or you can move the app images to the destination. Actually, I think I used move. So it just grabs the entire one, and then it puts it in my home folder, app images. So what that looks like is if we go app images from our home folder, you can see the app images I have right here. So anytime I download an app image, I can just click it, Gear Lever takes it and moves it over to app images. And then it installs it also in like Trezor Suite. You can see it installs it right into my applications too. So it's a great way to manage applications through App Image. And then for Flatpak, that also does it as well. Which, well, do we have any Flatpak upgrades? Yeah, sure, whatever. Let's just upgrade Flatpak real fast too. Flatpak's another one that's self-contained. And I've tried a couple GUI tools for Flatpak, and I just don't like Flatpaks that much. I still use them from time to time, but I don't try to overdo it. Like, Gear Lever is actually installed through Flatpak. FlatSeal manages Flatpak permissions. I'm really not using much. Yeah, you can see I just really don't like Flatpak that much. I have a couple things here, but honestly, I could purge almost all of these Flatpaks. It doesn't really matter. Ignition was a neat tool to manage auto start through XDG, but nothing in here is actually needed or used by me. Omarchi and DWM, what did you do? What didn't I do is a better question. Yeah. Omarchi I kind of purged. I kind of touched on this at the start of the stream, but my setup is something that very few people in the world will ever use. It just straight up. I thought, oh, I could manage it or make it more universal. And I think I'm coming to grips with, I don't think so. I think when I go into it, most people are going to look at what I did here and go, what the hell's this guy on? Because I like very minimal. Like this just looks ugly. Let's just call a spade a spade. This is not a great desktop environment from a looks perspective. It ain't winning any beauty contests, and it probably never will. And I'm kind of okay with it. I've just made my peace, and I was just like, you know what? This works so damn good for me. I have 100 kilobytes worth of binaries, and my entire damn desktop runs on that one binary. Well, technically polybar too, so 2 binaries. That's cool. But can a normal person use this? No, probably not. There's gonna be some situation, there's gonna be some application a normal person would use, and then it's not gonna display quite right for them, where I'll just be like, oh, I'll just adjust the C code to accommodate that application. Most people are not gonna want to program in C. And there's gonna be something that you're gonna want to change, and then it's just like, well, there is no config file really. It's just all baked into the binary. And yeah, it's just kind of how it goes. But damn it, I love it to death. I cannot think of a better setup, and I never have to worry about anything ever going wrong. So if I'm the only person that uses it, well, I guess that just means I'm elite and everybody else is just a peasant. Oh, sarcasm is strong today. Sorry. No, not 128 megs. I think it's 120 kilobytes. Not quite a meg is what my desktop runs on. Windows users just can't understand. Let me demonstrate. I think I actually need to pull down, and we'll just... I made some changes this past week. So anyways, this entire operating system, everything you see here, runs on this one file. I could honestly just copy this one file out. All this other stuff is just make files and build stuff. This one file is 116 kilobytes. My entire desktop runs on that. So there is no enshittification. There is no giant bloat. It's literally 116K. Now, there are some dependencies through Xorg, which is super old, right? Everyone uses the Wayland. Why aren't you on Wayland, Titus? Because Wayland sucks. I don't care if 80% of the population thinks it's good. I'm sorry, I've used the living hell out of it, and I just always run into some kind of problem with it. And I'll keep trying it. I'll keep making videos eventually about it, probably. But every time I do it, I'm just like, okay, well, I wasted about a couple weeks on this. It still sucks. It's still not as good as my DWM setup, and I'm going back. So yeah. Yeah, it's 116K. That's actually pretty bloated for DWM. Oh, God. You know, I'm sure someday Wayland will be fully cooked. It's close, and it's very pretty. I just don't, I'm not a big fan. That's all I'm saying. It's okay. Wayland and Rust are in the same camp. Probably. I don't know. Eventually, it'll get there. Like, most of my problems with Wayland, they are getting smaller, mind you. So, like, a good example of, like, why I use this. So, I use GIMP for, like, thumbnails, right? And I've shown this a ton. I'm not going to bore you guys with the details. But essentially, like, in Wayland, let's just grab something. I can just pull this up in my DWM, go here, toss in like a background, and then I'll just go into like my headshots, and then I'll just be like, okay, cool. Let's say I grab this and I can just toss that in, bam, and then just manipulate and go. Super simple. You get it. With Wayland, the drag and drop capability sometimes freezes, sometimes has issues. And then other things that I've run into, specifically with Hyperland, I don't know if it's a Wayland or Hyperland, it's a compositor issue. Opacity doesn't work great. Like, there's certain things that have some bleed through effects on it. So I might be playing a game, per se. And let's say I have this terminal up in the background. Sometimes, on certain games, it would have a little bleed through effect, and I would be able to see this, even though the opacity's set to 100%. So that was another minor thing. Like, you had to really look for it, but it was still enough to annoy the hell out of me. Other things, how Wayland does security is better, right? More secure by default, because it locks access to the screen. You know, applications can't just take over and utilize the whole screen without a whole bunch of, like, going through a whole bunch of hoops. And that's like Synergy and some other stuff. There's alternative projects that you can use. There's Landmouse, which I've used on it, and it kind of works. It's a bit janky and really rough around the edges. I was looking at other ones too, like it, but that was another issue. And then when you look at the package count after installing Wayland and all the hotness, right, that everyone loves. You know, you got your Omarchy and all the other things that are all on Wayland now. KD, GNOME, everything. Well, for it being more efficient and it being de-bloated by most people's thought process, it sure as shit is a lot heavier. It is just more packages, it's more space, and frankly, it feels slower. Now, this seems ridiculous for me to say that, but it's not wrong. Because, yeah, compared to Windows, everything's faster. And I'm freaking on a Xeon with 64 gigs of ECC memory. I am literally like king of any systems that are sitting here. And I still notice a difference. If I'm noticing a difference, what about the poor guy sitting on a netbook somewhere? And he's sitting there loading up all this crap with all these packages, with all this stuff. That's gotta feel like absolute dog water to him. So, those are my critiques of Wayland. That's why I say what I say. That's why I'm still using Xorg and DWM. It just feels good. It's fast. And everything just works. And I'm just like, well, if it works, why reinvent the wheel? Anyways. Native drive. Is there a way to show CIFS mounts in fast fetch? I'm sure you could do CIFS mounts in fast fetch. It's doing like it's not going to show it from LSBLK, but BLK ID probably would show that. Let's see. Probably like a BLK ID would show it. Huh. No, that's not going to show it there. Oh, shoot. Yeah, no. What's the best way to show that? Probably thinking. It's a good question. Best way to show it and query it from terminal. I think it's mount. Yeah. Let's go TLDR mount. What do we got? Mount all. We'll just try and do it, but there should be a query. Huh. Just ask the AI gods. Oh, what the hell is this? Okay. Alright. Linux CLI show mounts for NFS and CIFS. Yeah, okay. Kari's right, it says. Oh, okay. Yeah. There you go. It's there. So you could grep it through, like if it's NFS mount. Most people don't use NFS. They are peasants and use SMB, the Windows file system mount. Samba. Ugh. Throw up in my mouth every time I see that in a small environment. I'm like, do you just hate yourself? Do you hate slow transfer speeds? Do you just love Windows and Linux together? Ugh, Samba. Ugh, I hate it. Samba in business makes sense when you got like Active Directory and other things involved and a bunch of users. Sure. For permission's sake, okay. But for your shitty home network and you're using SMB, you need to get the hell out of here with that. That is just awful. I did call you a peasant. And you are a peasant if you use SMB. I stand by this fact. Learn NFS, use NFS, and then you'll be like, I have ascended. I am no longer part of the peasants that rule this world using Windows, sharing, and oh god, it just trust me on this. You just set up NFS once. Put it up on your NAS box, set it up on your main system, even do it in Windows. And you're going to be like, holy crap. Where have you been all my life? This is absolutely amazing. Why? Why did I ever use SMB? And it's that poison pill made by Microsoft, and they fed it to you, and you gobbled it up. Gobble, gobble, gobble. And said, this is great and easy. That's what I know. But if you just open your mind a little bit, you'll learn NFS is so awesome. Oh, bud, come on. Oh, NFS always breaks for me. What are you doing? I'd help you out, bud. No, don't say that. It just makes me depressed. So fun loop T. So for those that have done it, most people don't even check YouTube. I have like 1,000 videos. If I've said something on stream, there's a chance there's a video. Let's just type NFS. Not there. What did I name it? Network. One setting to make. Oh god, that sounds like some clickbait BS. What is it?
So I ran across an article on the web that basically makes your internet faster or your network faster on a Windows machine, specifically a Windows machine.
Oh, this is stack size. Oh, I remember that. I don't even know if that holds true anymore. Dang it. That should be. God, modern. There's gotta be NFS in here. Show me NFS. Ah, there it is.
File sharing could be so.
Yes, this is what you all need. Go do this. Yes, set it up. File sharing is bad. Here's how to make it better. I totally love this. You should do it. No, some dude's archiving on archive.org. That's awesome. I haven't seen the Warframe update. Man, Warframe is like a whole different game from when I've played it now. I don't even know. Anyhow, that's funny. But yeah, there you go. The funny thing is I don't really make too many tutorial videos these days because I felt like I've already got a video for almost everything. And I'm like, okay, I probably should do this again. And then I was like, nah, I've already done it. But YouTube stops recommending I think the downside to YouTube and kind of where lately I've just not been making very many videos because I felt like I've already done most of everything at least once. And I hate redoing the same thing over and over on YouTube just for like views. So I feel like if I've covered something, I just don't want to cover it again. I'm just like, all right, let's move on. Unless there's like an update to it or something. And I know that's bad business. Most people, you just like, hey, redo the title, thumbnail, and republish the same crap over and over. There's some creators that have been doing it for 10 years. And I'm like, how do they not go insane? That's crazy. Automo, thank you for the Prime. Have you tried the DCLI? It's on GitLab. Oh no. Oh no. What do we got? GitLab, huh? A new way to arch. Oh god. It sounds cool. CDLI. The Black Dawn.
All right. Welcome back to another video.
Huh. All right, Black Dawn. What do we got? Let's take a look. DCLI. How many? It's only got 53 stars. Seems pretty small. What's he building out of cargo? There's a Rust binary in here? Well, that's odd. Where the hell's the source code? Source. What is this? Declarative package managed CLI tool for Arch Linux. Huh. I probably should just read the README, but I kind of want to see what the code looked like first. These days, I'm just so distrusting of anything that's a binary. All right. So, interactive TUI. That's what WinUtil is built off of. Oh, I wonder what packages is he using? Is he using Ratatouille like me? So you got CERD for YAML parsing, error handling, file, date and time, regex, hostname. He doesn't have any TUI libraries. Actually, pretty clean. Not written by AI, I can tell you that right now. AI likes to alphabetize everything. Actually, I use a cargo-sort package to sort my TOML files. Interesting. Flexible configuration structure. Well, that's interesting. Usually I just shit all over any package someone puts in chat, but it looks pretty good. The code looks clean. Anytime I see something like this, though, I'm like, well, that's AI. It's clean looking, though. I'll give it that. Humans just typically don't use that many emojis. Not to say it's bad, though. That's neat, man. I'm intrigued. No, I'm not gonna try it out or anything, but that's pretty neat. Why don't you run Gentoo then? Yeah, could you imagine like updating packages through LFS and that you're trying to daily drive LFS? That'd be insane. You just have to be a mad lad to do it, which, hey, I'm here for it. I can't. It's winter. This is great. All right, sorry. Let's get back to Octobox. I think I got a little sidetracked there. I'm sorry. All right. Let's see. Remove reg. Let's start going through some PRs, shall we? I think I saw this from Gab. What do we got? Remove. He's just changing reg to this. When doing an invoke script like this through tweaks, though, I don't think you actually need to do it through tweaks. I think we set up something so you shouldn't use it through an invoke script. Could be wrong. Let's double check that, shall we? Let me update and pull down any changes. All right, we're up to date. Well, let's pull in some tweaks. Yeah, so typically how this would be done, instead of doing an invoke script like that, you could do it through registry paths is the correct method. So if you're changing it from an invoke script, which uses like CMD, most of the built-in PowerShell stuff, I know this is a little convoluted for someone that just hadn't seen how this is built, but that's typically what you would do here. So here, let's just modify the PR to showcase that live on stream. So, it's 27 PRs. Good lord, trying to wear me down with PRs here. Anyways, so you got HKLM, all this. Let's just edit this file. What this should look like is you grab like a registry. Let's copy that. Actually, let's just grab all of this. And all right. And then what was the PR? PR, let's grab we'll just grab this key. Should be enough. Okay, so then you got your invoke script back here. So instead, oops, we're gonna grab, you also do services through here, but let's just grab this value as a template. Paste that in. And then what this looks like is, just grab this whole thing, copy it, and paste. And we're going to just change the value set item property to 1 for the invoke script. And then the undo script is 0, right? So the value is going to be 1 and 0. But it is not a string. This is actually a D word maybe? Let's see what value we have. Looks like the set item property is set incorrectly. There's no type value. We should have a type. Hence, this is incorrect actually. Son of a biscuit eater. Oh, what did the invoke script show? Reg add fe. Yeah, reg d word. So yeah, this is just wrong all around. Yeah, damn it, Gab. You gotta test these, man. Man. It's all good. D word. Let's go. D word. I couldn't remember. Caps I don't think matter on this, but let's just double check. Yeah, we'll go ahead and do that. Okay, so for this invoke script, we're gonna go D word, and then you got the original value of 1, or original value is 0. You set it to 1 for the remove home from Explorer. So then, once that's done, doop, something like that should be pretty good. Probably don't even need this comma. Old Jason. That should be good for the registry. Bam. And you can see how much cleaner that is compared to now this will convert it to an actual PowerShell entry. So if you refresh, now you can see the old code versus the new code. So then you have that, you're good to go. Down here, this is just removing the entire key though. For that, trying to think if we actually had, no, I think we built a remove entry in there as well. Oh yeah, well, let's change that too. We'll edit that. A little bit slow today, I gotta tell you. But I was like, it's been too long. I haven't streamed in a bit, so like I better do something. Anywho, all right, got that. And then for remove gallery, instead of a remove item, a new item, I want to say we have like a create entry and whatnot in here. Maybe not. Let's see. So create entry. I thought it was like entry. I thought it was create entry. Okay, there's remove entry. And then there's a value set. So if it doesn't exist, you can do it. For the create entry though, don't know if it'll create keys, which keys are essentially folders in registry. I don't think we've done anything with that. I think most of this is just remove, where we're actually creating. Because I think for this one, removed all the logic from the tweak, didn't you? No. Oh, let's see. What's chat saying? All right, let's see. Question. If and when one buys your WinUtil, is it possible for it to run during boot up? You could tack it on to unattended. Shoot, I think we even had that in WinUtil, or the MicroWin at one time. So, Chris, you're doing it wrong. No, sir, you did it wrong. Yeah, that's what we were looking at right now, Gab. The other one with you don't do an invoke script for registries 1 and 0, and that was actually incorrect. If you actually ran your tweak, it didn't work because you didn't specify under the properties what type of value it is. If you don't have a type of value, it would error out. I can actually show you. Just to show you that you're wrong. Instead of just saying you're wrong. Let's do that, shall we? Oh, because that would be fun. All right, let's just cancel this real fast. You can always come back to it. Ah, no, not that. I can't type today. All right, we're going to just take this, right? Let's go set item path right here. Very, very basic. This is part of the invoke script. We're setting an item path for this. And you'll notice this will error. Does require some modification though, because we can't just paste that into PowerShell because those are escaped characters. So we have to change it a little bit, but I can still show you. I'll show you how it would be modified by the WinUtil. Okay, so you got this. Let's remove the escapes. If you're unfamiliar, escaping backslash is an escape. So it can read quotes and also backslashes itself. So if you escape a backslash, it will show backslash. So that's good. So this is the full path, right? Set item property path, name, launch to, value 1. Now, typically you would put a D-word value in there. Thing, well, let's see. No, it took it. What if that didn't exist? Let's remove the item property. And then let's try and set it again. No. Does the set item property automatically switch over to D-word? Oh, I was wrong. I'm sorry, Gab. But let's see what it made. Let's just see what old Windows is doing under the hood here. Try not to flashbang everybody. All right, we're under, this is current user. HKCU, we're going to go software. And old Microsoft. Current version. Windows current version. And coming down to Explorer. Advanced. All right. What? And this one was launched too. Yeah. I'm going to break it really fast just to see what would happen. Don't do this at home. I wonder if it switches it to string. It does. Wow. Yeah, don't do that, by the way. All right. Well, I thought you had to put type in there. So I always would go type D-word and then make it like that. So I always specified the types instead of it just kind of winging it. It could come back to bite you with a Q word. So it's not necessarily wrong. It's just not how I would do it. I'm trying to think of any adverse effects by not specifying a type. Most things are strings or D words. Occasionally you'll run into a Q word. How many Q words do we have in the tweaks? Let's look. I always try and think of the worst case scenario. Keyword only appears once in our tweaks, and we're doing like 1,000 tweaks at this point. So almost everything's a D word. A keyword will only appear with an obscene number. I forget what the numbers on D words is, but it's a large number. Probably like 32,000 or something. Anything over that would probably switch to a keyword automatically. You always got to think of the worst case scenario whenever you're doing something. And that's what I always try and do. So whenever I'm coding, I'm like, what's the worst thing that could happen here? And then I program around the worst case. And sometimes that adds some bloat, but regardless, like in this example, let's just pull this in. Let's just pull this guy in real fast. Let's grab this PR real fast from Gab. I'm gonna just do it all in our Explorer here. Remove reg. And let's just go tweaks JSON. So for remove item and new item, I would leave that. I still like the registry tweak we've done back here. Yeah, let's check this out real fast. Okay, yeah. Let's go ahead and make that a comma. We do the registry. The remove item and new item I do like. I think that's good. So, actually, let's make that submission. Yeah, we'll squash and merge. Oh, no. My bad. Fix missing comma from Twitch chat. Thanks, chat. You guys think that would not work, but it will. It won't automatically launch to this PC when you open File Explorer because you broke it. Really? The paths are different. They are not the same. Really? Are we sure? Did I miss something? Yeah, I see what you're doing here. Oh, I gotcha. That's why. I don't want to see if this works though. Let's see. Let me change this a little bit more. I see what you're saying though. Give me a second. Let me cook. Let me cook with this. So we got this for that, but then we need to add one more registry value. We're going to just manually do this. Path. All right, let's get that path exactly right. Sorry, guys, I got to go down one. All right, perfect. So let's just grab this H key CU. Why does that look so weird? Should have grabbed the original tweak. Why did I delete his original lines? I could have just copy and pasted. Ah, that would have been great. But anyways, don't worry. I'll fix it. My bad. And this is not local machine. This is current user. And this is going to be launch to. Launch to. It could be a D word value probably, right? So this is going to be 1 and 0, but we're going to flip them. And that wants to delete the entire entry. So the proper value here for is going to be delete for the 903. This is actually going to be 1 for that, right? Oh, that's a string right there. What the hell? String. Sorry. Let's move this. Just give me a little more real estate. Yeah. We'll remove it though. Well, I'm just gonna show you the command for it. Give me a second. Give me a second. You'll see it. You'll see the magic happen. Just ever so slowly, as I don't think I've drinking enough caffeine today. Should have slept longer. Story of my life, man. Story of my life. This is going to be actually a remove entry. Remove entry. Just like so. And then original value is going to be CIA CLS MP graph home folder will be the original value. Which does nothing, but it is how it was. So then you have this for the add and the delete. So you delete, it'll remove the original value, it'll be there. And then for this one, the launch to is added with a 1. And then it is deleted instead of zeroed out. So instead of a 0 out for the original value, that's going to be remove entry. What you think? Is that good? No. Gab, you're wrong. This is better code compared to just the remove and delete. I think it's great. Is it remove entry? Gab's like, oh my god, just can't with him. Let's double check. It is remove entry. It's a string. I think we can just go there. When you test, you're going to feel so dumb. I mean, maybe. Let's test. We got it checked out right here. This is, this tweak is just changing the, this is remove gallery, but this tweak, let's go up a little bit. 1 second. Where are you at? Where were we? Come on. This is the remove home. This removes home from Explorer. and sets this PC to default. Perfect. So this is what the tweak should do. We've modified it to be like this. Gab says it won't work. I say it should work. Using registry instead of invoke script. Does any of this matter? Probably not. I regret doing this at this point in time, but it's too late to go back. We need to just compile and see if this actually does it. Let's go. Well, that's why we test. I mean, we could just discard the changes, Gab. I shouldn't have done a direct commit on the browser. That was a mistake. But what's done is done. Let's see what the final result shall be. All right, we're nice and compiled. Clear out any settings. We're going to remove home from Explorer. That's the tweak we changed. Let's see the debug. So we're going to hit run tweaks, right? Boom. Warning, unable to set value due to unhandled expectation. Not found. Creating. Set. Launch value to 1. Well, it still launched this PC. So that did work, but let's undo the tweak now. Ready? Undo tweak. And now it is undone. And then when we open this up, it's still home PC. It should be here, actually. And then when we set it again, it worked that time. I feel like all this is stupid of my part, but that's okay. I'm willing to admit I was wrong on this one. Hey, it's all about feeling dumb. That way you don't do something. A wise man once said, you cannot learn what you already think you know. And I wanted to just see. So, let's revert that. Sorry. Hey, this is like edutainment. Let's discard that. And can we revert? Oh, hell. Nope. Yeah. That's what we need. Sorry, brother. There we go. Don't worry, I'm making it right.
Yeah, well, the dude abides.
Bam. Perfection. Anyways. Sorry. Reverted it. We're all good now. Well, it's okay. It's all part of the experience, Gab. Welcome to submitting fixes to open source projects. Test it? Yes. Let's test it. Let's just test that, shall we? Bojang, thank you for the sub. Alright. We might need to do it a couple times, we'll see. Because I'm not sure if the value I set for that class ID is all screwed up for me messing with the registry. Either way, it'll fix it. Might just need to do an undo and then a reapply. What's the word? Word of the day. Well, what is the word of the day? Despondent. That's the word of the day. Remove home, run tweak. Alright, so tweak is ran. Remove homes there. Bam. Home. Now, let's go and undo the tweak. There we go. Relaunch. Perfection. Gab was right. I was wrong. You're smart. I'm stupid. You're very pretty looking. I'm ugly. You're the best. I'm the worst. Hey man, you gotta have fun. You gotta have fun. Alright, it works great. Let's merge it. It would help if we were actually on lot. Well, you know what? Let's merge it through code. I don't do that enough. I need to get more comfortable doing that. Alright, we're here. We are going to approve. And then we're going to merge. Squash and merge. On 24H2, the right-hand side of the tweaks don't work. Not sure where you're off on that. Run it right now, Angry. You'll see that it has already been fixed. I did it with my force powers, and that has been a thing for the past 36 hours, actually. Little did you know. It should actually self-elevate, so... Alright, what do we got? Invoke updates default. Because it's VM Windows are using a bare metal virtualization. Bare metal, brother. Bare metal virtualization is where it's at. It's where all the magic happens. Alright, let's look what we change in here. Whoa! Getting rid of quite a bit here. What are we doing? I mean, this was pretty convoluted, I gotta say. Not my strongest work. But it did work. No. You don't understand the purpose of this right here. So the purpose of this was when people screw up Windows Update, this actually restores everything to as it should be. So the whole purpose of this is when folks purposely break Windows Update, this will fix it every time. So it's not just as simple of one or two values that are changed. That just is not how that works at all. It doesn't even work, by the way. Yeah, let's see. I think you're wrong on this one. But let's find out. Actually, let's just go to WinUtil and self-build. Alright, we'll pull this down. Come on, Git. Cloudflare didn't crash again, did it? No problem, Angry. Have a good day, man. Let's see what we got. All right. So, Updates tab. Default. If you click Default, you'll see that it's restoring everything, and then your updates will fire off. Because there's a lot of different ways to disable Windows Update. The idea is to go through and fix all the other ways that in Windows Update might have gotten broken. We're clearing out group policies. We're clearing out a whole bunch of stuff. This will there's multiple different ways to break Windows Update. The idea is to fix all those ways with this script. So now this would, like, we'll go ahead and run an update and see what's there. We probably have an update. It's Windows. Yeah, so we have updates right here. We can double check those. Let's not update that. Let's say we want to get rid of these updates. Let's go disable real fast. I just coded this, man. No. Gab, listen to me. The disable updates disables all the updates, but look at what disable updates is doing in the background. We're disabling bit service. We're disabling Windows Update services. We're disabling USO service. We're disabling UHS service. We're disabling WAS service. We're then renaming 2 DLLs, unregistering those. Then we're cleaning up anything in the software distribution folder in Windows. And then we're doing all of this to disable it. And from a user perspective, default settings should undo everything that's done in the disable. That's a user experience. That's why it was set up that way. All right, let's look at the other updates. All right. So, okay. I get what you're saying. So how are you going about it? Yeah. I get where you're going. It looks a lot more streamlined. But you got to factor in repairs from Windows and also Windows coming in and re-enabling crap without people's knowledge. With just disabling the service, anything can come through and re-enable that service, and then Windows Update is now working again. And many users may not want that, so it could be a simple program update like VS Code. It'll go through, it'll see it, it'll re-enable this service, and then updates are working, and it's not, the user won't know it. So the reason why these updates are set up the way they are, I know it seems like complete overkill, but Windows will re-enable itself, and it will repair these updates. But if you unregister those DNLs, you change and disable all these repair services for Windows, it can't re-enable these updates. So this way, honestly, is good on its head. It's very simplistic, but this is extremely easy for Microsoft to re-enable those updates, and they're going to do it behind the user's back. That's why I did like the scorched earth approach here for Windows Update. There's just no way Microsoft's going to be able to undo what I've done here, where if it's just a simple service disable, hell, one reboot, one cumulative update, one anything, and Windows Update is now working again. And that's why I did it this way. Does that make sense? They just don't do it. It won't. Dude, I'm telling you, it will happen. It'll re-enable it. Like, that's the thing. It's dumb. I get it, but just one service, you don't think Microsoft's going to patch that out? Like, I want to make damn sure Microsoft can't update Windows. And my way makes damn sure it will never get re-enabled. Yes, we re-enable. I know this looks complex. And it is definitely a scorched earth. We're going through services, we're going through task scheduler, we're going through a lot of things to make sure that doesn't happen.
The dude abide.
But I just am not confident Microsoft won't just patch something out, especially something as simple as just re-enabling a service. So that's why I did it this way. It's a heavy modification, but rightfully so, because I've seen them repair these types of services in the past. It's not like they won't do it. They will do it. It's just a matter of time. But with this, good effing luck. It's not going to happen. So that's why it's set up that way. If that makes sense. But I do appreciate you trying to minimize the code. But I literally just did a video about this, I think it was like a month or two ago. So this is pretty fresh code on that side of things. All right, what do we got? Windows Update default, close pull request. Now, for security, though, this hasn't been updated in a while. Let's see what your take is on security. I think you misunderstood what we're doing with security settings. Let's read the description. Maybe I'm missing something. I don't mean to be so combative today. There's no other reason to do these other tweaks. Okay. Yes, there is a reason. So this is what I would do in business. Young people probably don't understand this, but using up-to-date feature updates is a bad idea. As we've covered in this past year, Microsoft in the enshittification of Windows is in full swing, right? Everyone agrees with this. AI everything. What is these other settings doing? Let me pull it up and kind of walk through each one of these so you kind of understand why I'm doing each one. All right, so obviously excluding drivers from Windows Update. Everyone does this because drivers from Windows Update is just a stupid idea no matter what you're doing. What about the other stuff we're doing here? The big thing is on Windows Update, there's two different types of updates. There's quality updates, which is security updates, and then there's also feature updates. And the feature updates is like 25H2 and Copilot recall, all these things kind of come through feature updates. And in business, we set GPOs, group policy objects, to delay those updates as long as possible. Typically, that delay is 365 days, and we do that because we don't want those new features hitting users and breaking things. And also, a lot of those new features just plain suck. A good example of this is File Explorer. File Explorer just getting slower and slower, and a lot of those features that people are like, oh, there's new File Explorer. That's great if you're a 20-something and then don't really use your computer for business. But in business, people really just want shit to work. And that's why you want to delay feature updates as long as possible. And quality updates, specifically, are delayed 4 days. Why do I delay quality updates 4 days, which that's like, hey, big bug fix, or maybe a 0-day hit? Everything's delayed 4 days because Microsoft patches and releases patches historically always on a Tuesday. It's called Patch Tuesday at Microsoft. And that gets pushed out to business customers and residential alike. But usually the residential people are the guinea pigs. They're the pawns that we get kind of pushed forward. And by delaying 4 days, if you do the actual math, it goes from Tuesday to Wednesday to Thursday to Friday to Saturday is when the actual patch happens. So even though it's released on Tuesday, the patch doesn't actually happen immediately. Now, for most of the like home users and all them people, this effect doesn't even take, it ignores this. But for professional users or Windows Pro, it will actually honor this. And then it delays that quality or that bug fix till Saturday, because often Microsoft will screw up the bug fix. And that delay of 4 days really fixes a ton of problems in business. So, yeah, who updates every week? Every freaking Windows customer, man. Like, look at the regular people out there in Windows. Some people update their shit every day. It's stupid, you know, because people have been ingrained from at the time of all times. Everyone's like, oh, make sure you're running your updates. Oh, you got to update every day. There's people that do that, and it's ingrained in them. And what this does is it protects people from themselves. And also, it makes sure that if you have a bad timing, let's say you're an update a once a week kind of guy, totally understand that. But this makes sure that it doesn't grab these updates when they're first baked. It makes sure those updates do not happen, and at least the home users, the pawns in this, the guinea pigs, test these updates. And then by the time it rolls around and those 4 days expire, hey, if somebody up there is actually still competent at Microsoft, they're going to pull that bad update. So that's why all these things are set up like they are. I know it looks like it's not needed for an average user, especially for someone that's been trained, hey, to update often. But this is how I update all systems, and I've updated this for 20 plus years, and that's why a lot of my business customers just don't have problems. Because they don't get these crappy updates. And this really is kind of like the sweet spot I found over the years to update a system. And that's why these group policies exist. I hope that makes sense. But yeah, I mean, there's so many little nuances to Windows too. Like, it's like when I was watching, I think it was the Cold Fusion video about the enshittification of Windows. All the things that they brought up can be fixed today. Like, you can use 25H2 and just strip out all this crap and disable the stuff that you don't want. If you want it to auto log in with a local account, you can do that in 25H2. I can do it in any Windows version. So, yes, Windows will keep getting worse, but I mean, I've dealt with this shit for 30 plus years now. I think even before I got a professional job fixing Windows back in early 2000s, like 2002. I mean, I was already in the Windows ecosystem. Even back in the DOS days, you know, with Win 311, and then going from that to like Windows 95. You know, even as a kid, I was really just in there, messing around with Windows. So I really understand it at a pretty deep level. So sometimes when you see stuff like that, it may look like nonsense, and sometimes it will be nonsense. You never know. But there's sometimes a rhyme or reason to my madness. Because I've seen some crazy shit over the years. Yeah. Just, it's one of those things. Yeah. Your code is kind of weird, and I've never seen something like that. Yeah. And sometimes it's there, and sometimes it's a very fringe case. There's times where I will code around a pretty fringe case that probably 95% of the users won't run into. But I always try and think of that 5% that might fall between the cracks, that might get screwed over by something I do. And I try and think of every user. And that way I don't get bombarded with emails going, oh, your system broke because I ran this. So a lot of times it can be a simple thing, and there's a lot of times it is. But sometimes it's not. It just depends. So anyways. I'll try and read better though. Try and read these PRs better. Anyways, let's close this one. Replace system IO directory. Okay. Let's see what this is. Set a path for WinUtil directory. I need to get better. Yeah, I like that a lot better. Let's look at the other file you have here. I'm gonna get better about the GitHub there. All right, and we're just changing it to a new item log directory. Trying to think if there was any fringe case for the system IO directory creation like this. I don't think there is though. I like the new item log directory much better. It's so much easier to clean. It's such a cleaner way of creating a directory. So yeah, no, I agree with you. Yeah, at one point in time, we had someone write C code and submit that. It's pretty wild. Oh. Oh, yeah. There's no reason to use C# code and PowerShell script. You might want to double check my work. That file is kind of weird. It is weird. Should not have happened, but it did. Approved. Squash and merge. All right, moving through it. Add tweaks, make Edge uninstall. Now this was the coolest PR I've seen in a while. I saw this. I hadn't tried it yet. We're gonna try it right now because this is freaking cool. I don't know how you found this, Gab, but so Edge uninstall. Oh my God, Microsoft Edge. We got to talk about Microsoft Edge. This is just an absolute shit show, right? This is such a clean way of doing it. I wonder if Microsoft will patch this, but I don't know how they will because of how this tweak works. Now, I've tried everything from uninstalling Edge. Like we've made manual uninstall scripts, stripping out the files, changing registry. It's real messy and it's just gross, and then inevitably it gets patched out. But I love how you thought of how to remove Edge here. You have this old registry entry right here for the uninstall of Microsoft Edge. I think this gets ignored now. We'll leave it in. I mean, it's fine. I'm pretty sure this is the old version of Edge back when it switched from the Edge base to Chromium. So I think they ignore this altogether, but this is where the magic happens right here. So you take ownership of this specific file, integratedservices.json, and then you change the file content from disable to enable on the replace here. This is so clean. It's really what makes the magic happen. And good Lord, I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong there, Gab, it doesn't get ignored. If you don't change it, you will need to restart your system to apply changes. All right, well, we got to try this out because this is possibly one of the coolest PRs. It's very, very minimal, right? That's all that the tweak's doing. Really just changing a registry entry and then just changing one little thing from a disable to enable in a file called integrated services region policy set. And what this does, if I understand this correctly, here we're going to check it out. And then we're going to run it. Because when I saw this in Discord, I meant to go try it out. So we're on 3792 PR. We're going to just do a compile and then a run. Yeah, that's true. Microsoft has patched most of my uninstall of Edge for a while. Can I say slurs about Edge? Absolutely. Edge itself is a slur. It is correct. So if we go here and was that uninstall Edge? Or is it disable Edge? Oh no. Make Edge uninstallable via settings. Here we go. So we're just going to click run. That's it. So super easy, very minimal tweak. And now, can we do it through AppWiz or do we have to use MS Store? I can't remember. You know better, but let's try it through here. I think it will work in here as well. Microsoft Edge. They might have removed it from here. Did I pass it? Oh, I don't think it's here. Yeah, so Edge isn't here. So let's go store. And apps. My library. Is it not here? Run installed apps. It's in the normal settings apps. Oh, that's right. I keep forgetting. I don't use this ever. Yeah. So let's just go uninstall. Add and remove programs. Here we go. That's right. This is how regular people do it. And then Microsoft Edge will be in here. Microsoft Bing. How the hell is that there? Oh, that's not there. Edge. There's a search, right? Do I have Edge installed? Yeah, no, I have Edge. Right, yeah, no. Okay, I have Edge. This might be too modified. Maybe it's under Edge? Wish there was a search for this damn thing. This find setting doesn't work. Oh, wait, here we go. Edge. It doesn't show it. Yeah, I could do it from a fresh VM. I'm kind of curious, though. What happens if we run the uninstall directly from the file? Because Edge will be in here. Somewhere. Why does Microsoft Search suck so bad? It's really kind of impressive of how much it sucks. Anyways. All right, we should see an uninstall somewhere in here. I'm kind of curious. I want to see if we could manually trigger the uninstall too. instead of having to go through the settings app. Bear with me for a second. Unless the bypass that we won't be adding. Oh, okay. I swear you could do... Well, let's see. Because if you do this... Let's just go from a fresh PowerShell, right? So you got the installer bash setup. I think you can just do like uninstall. Let's see what that does. My bad. Oh, there's a space. Durr. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I kind of want to see that, just to see. That's pretty cool, man. Let's see if that raw file, I'm gonna just give it a whirl. It should have piped that. It didn't though. Force uninstall is not recognized. Let's just do that. Instead of piping it, let's just go out file. And we're gonna call this uninstall edge.ps1. And vim uninstall edge. Did I just... Oh my god. Wait a second. Did I still have like an old uninstall? Oh, sorry. Windows. Okay. I keep forgetting I've got Linux on the brain. Oh, okay, so you just baked it. I thought it was like a standalone script for some odd reason. My bad. Okay. Did I not copy it right? Remove edge PS1. This is the wrong URL. Just look at the file. No, that's all right. So I guess I grabbed the wrong one. Maybe I had something left in my buffer. Close this. Spice should bring it over regardless. Yeah, see? And then you just go uninstall Edge. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I guess I didn't hit copy. My bad. So here's what we got. Force, and then force uninstall delete profile is what's not happening. So if we go uninstall Edge. Alright, fine. Instead of force uninstall, let's just try uninstall. Let's see what that does. Uninstall is not recognized. So force uninstall and uninstall is not recognized. Ah, man. There's gotta be... What about initiating an uninstall? Has to be force. It works. Yeah, just for whatever reason, when I run it, it's just saying force uninstall is not a recognized command. Yeah, I mean, this system, we've uninstalled Edge I don't know how many times. Cumulative updates typically bring it back, though. Yeah, I agree with Angry. Reinstalling Edge would probably be the best way to bring it back. Let's try that. Let's do it through the Microsoft Store. The Microsoft way, using a Microsoft account. Let's go Store. Oops, wrong store. I don't know what the hell I just launched. There's a store run command. What is that? Okay, now I'm curious. What the hell is the store run command? Oh no, that is the store. Okay. Just weird. All right, let's go Edge. Be funny if they removed it from the Microsoft Store. It says it's installed already. What happens with remove AppX or provisioned? We could do it through WinGit as well. Let's try that. Why are people so obsessed with deleting Edge? It's like a piece of spyware that runs in your system typically. So most Edge users like, oh, it's faster than most other browsers, but they don't know that Microsoft Windows, when you load up your system, it preloads a lot of components of Microsoft Edge. So let's say you're a Chrome user or a Brave user per se. Most of these people on Windows don't realize they're also using Edge. And Edge loads certain components at the time of Windows boot. So even though you might not use Edge, you're still using Edge. So, yeah, it's a thing. Oh, the streaming music? It's all stream beats from Harris Heller. Shout out. Man's a saint. Edge is like herpes. You didn't ask for it, and it never goes away. Facts. Yeah. What if you make Edge unusable by the system? Well, that's typically what we're doing with like a lot of the debloat. But I really like Gabby's way of essentially doing a slight modification to Edge to where you can uninstall it from the Microsoft Store. And I was like, ooh, that's pretty cool. Or you can uninstall it through Settings app. So we've done that. Let's go ahead and reapply our updates. Let's go WinUtil. Compile. And we're just going to go run. So I can yell at you faster. I don't know if I like that, Cab, but yeah, no, I'll accept it. You can send me an invite on Discord. Although I gotta warn you, I'm pretty. I check out a lot. Where you might leave a message and it might be a week or two. I'm not very active on the old Discords. All right, let's go tweaks. But I do check in from time to time. Let's run this tweak. So now it should be uninstallable after we reinstalled it. Now let's go uninstall under settings. All right. Ah, there it is. Got Microsoft Game Assist. All right. There it is. That does work. Edge. So we got Edge right here. So you can uninstall Game Assist. Uninstalled. And Microsoft Edge. Uninstall. Uninstall. Yes. So I think from a prior uninstall or rip out of Edge, we still had some like old missing components to where it wasn't showing in the install menus, even though like a cumulative update reinstalled it. Us manually reinstalling it and then running the tweak may have gotten rid of Edge. Let's see. You're Chad. Look at that. Edge no more. Let's go to christitus.com. Oh, that's hilarious. Oh my god. No, man, it's from like I haven't reinstalled this Windows in like a year and a half. So there's just a lot of tweaks that have been happening over the years in different ways we've gone about things. That Edge redirect is not working, by the way. Is appwiz.cpl just no good anymore now that everything's so damn convoluted and everything gets installed to different directories and everything? Because there it is. All right, never mind. It's there. I know I should use the settings app, but I've always just used this, and I prefer it. Okay, well that looks good, brother. What do we have to change on that? This looks great. Why is it? There's a formatting change. Something. It's probably during the preprocessor. That's cool. Anyways, let's discard this. Trash it. Formatting. Fix. Not really any changes. It was just getting rid of some white space. So that's good to go. Let's come back to our Edge, and the next version of WinUtil will have an Edge to it. Edge uninstall. Pretty sweet. Squash and merge. Let's go. All right. Java 25. Let's switch over back to main branch, shall we? Pull down those changes. This should just be a quick applications JSON tweak. Now, for the Java tweaks, let's talk about this for a second, Chad. We have just so many different versions of Java. Like, who the hell is still using Java 8? Does anybody use that? the Java development kit version 8 still? Like, that seems ancient at this point. I mean, at least we're only getting LTS releases. What do we think? Should only have 25 and 21. Older versions of Minecraft use 8. Enterprise uses Java. What the hell? Java is banned in my company, as it should be. So Java 8 is actually still in wide use. What about 11? Because we still have 11 and 17. Do we see a point in having an 11 and 17, or should we just have 8? Or do we just leave it all? Yeah. Yeah, the default Minecraft launcher does suck. I remember when me and my daughter were playing Minecraft all the time. We were using, we used multi-MC for a little bit, and then I think we moved to, oh god, I can't even remember the last one we used. It was a lot more feature-rich than multi-MC, though. Yeah, name escapes me. Prism, that was it. Yep, that's what we ended up going with. Chat knew. Can't find your Minecraft streams. I wonder, I didn't go back and delete them, so maybe they're still in there somewhere. All right. Java 11 is still the default in many government systems here in Brazil. Yeah, I think we're just going to leave it. We're just going to go ahead and add Java 25. I just had to ask. I was like, what are the use cases? But now I can kind of see multiple use cases, and Java's just so prominent worldwide, everywhere. Good to go. I don't need to check this out. We shall just approve and squash and merge. All right. Update tweaks laptop hibernation. Ooh, what are we doing with hibernation? I hate hibernation, by the way. Just absolutely hate it. Trying to think if there was a reason why we did it through a start process. Yeah. So, by doing it here, if there's any delay on setting it, it will lock up the GUI. So using a start process, it would put it in a run space so it doesn't lock up the GUI. That was the whole point of doing start process. At least the theory behind it. I didn't really test it that much, though. It really won't. Yeah. I'm just trying to think would, but yeah, that was the theory, Gab, was we were going to use run spaces. I don't know if you're familiar with PowerShell run spaces or not. But I don't even think start process would properly use a run space. To really issue it into a run space, I think this would have to be done differently. Ah, alright. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, everything else doesn't use start process in this. And frankly, the invoke script, since this is the JSON script, it should just grab this code, the clean code, without all this extra crap with start process, and then it should put it in a run space automatically if done properly. I agree with you. Let's go. Yeah, going with a separate run space makes it execute faster, but this is just the JSON script, so technically, if I was actually coding it correctly, it should take this JSON script, wrap it up, put it in a run space automatically. The start process isn't doing that. So I don't know why start process. It might have been just reminiscences from a gajillion different merges or something. I can't tell you. But Gab's right. That shouldn't be a start process. Alrighty. Moving on. Remove OneDrive. Yeah, so we went back and forth in Discord on this one. Frickin' OneDrive. We're just going to remove the whole tweak. So what ends up happening with OneDrive, I think honestly you should just do it through uninstall if you're going to uninstall OneDrive. You can do it, but the problem with OneDrive is it just keeps changing and Microsoft keeps doing a bunch of stupid shit with it. Specifically in relation to Microsoft Office. The autosave feature now is directly tied to OneDrive. And what I mean by that is it's almost impossible, I think, these days to enable autosave without OneDrive. I'm pretty sure there's probably some feature set still there, but by default, it really wants you to log into OneDrive to autosave the documents you're currently working on with OneDrive. Now, it never worked like this in the past. Like 10 years ago, it would just save to a temporary directory, and then if your document blew up in the middle of your workday, that temporary file would be sitting there. I don't believe that's how Microsoft Office works anymore, so autosave just doesn't work, and file recovery is almost non-existent unless you have OneDrive enabled. Quintessential enshittification of Microsoft Office on top of Windows is what this is. But I agree. We essentially we went back and forth on how best to uninstall OneDrive, and I think we both settled on it just sucks, and Microsoft's changing too much, and I don't want to be responsible to deleting someone's file. And I think we just get rid of it. Just uninstall OneDrive as you normally would, and just know there might be limitations with autosave. Not something I would recommend. Pronounce the name correctly. You can listen to Google's Translate. I do want to know how to say your name. I've been calling you Gab for a long time. All right, let's turn it up. Here we go. Ready? That's just an image. Okay. What happened? Let's try that again.
Gabi.
Gabi. Gabi. I like it. Gabi.
Gabi.
Ah. No, I'm saying it wrong. Of course I am. Fact, I fail at the English language, much less other languages. Click the laugh one. Oh.
Gabby.
Gabby. Oh. Okay, well, shit. That's a lot easier. Okay, Gabby. Got it. Gabby. Turned Hebrew for a second there. Oh, that's funny. All right. Yep, totally did. I love it. Anywho, what are we doing now? Now, this Disable Tweak 6, this is another one I thought about deleting. Because V6... Oh, the problem with V6... And I want to say this would break things, maybe? I can't remember. Let me double check this. No, it's just under tweaks. Okay, yeah, no, that's fine. Couldn't remember if it was referenced from any other function. Anyways. Yeah, IPv6. What's everybody's opinion on IPv6? I hate IPv6, but I find whenever I disable it, sometimes there's a little bit of wonkiness that happens. So I don't really necessarily recommend ever disabling IPv6, even though it can be considered a security flaw in some systems. Yeah. Some on enterprise stuff. There's some residential stuff. I think I have like, I don't know. I mean, I guess Ubiquity is kind of breaking in the enterprise a little bit. But some of the Ubiquity stuff, I know, doesn't like it when you disable IPv6. There's been a couple other things that IPv6 disable caused. I prefer like a Toretto tweak where IPv4 gets prioritized over IPv6, but I don't know. Dude, they've been saying we've been running out of IPv4 addresses for like 20 years now. Back when I started IT, they were like, make sure you learn IPv6, that's going to be the future. Here we are, 20-something years later, and hell, everyone's still setting IPv4, and IPv6 is always an afterthought, typically. It's one of those things, it's like, well, do as I say, not as I do kind of thing. So IPv6 is not as prominent as you think. Yeah. It's kind of funny. There are still providers with zero support for IPv6. Which, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, reverse proxies. There's a lot of shenanigans and other things that have kind of happened with IPv4. I think it's because IPv6 is always just, it has like that hexadecimal kind of weird scheming that it's just, it's hard to calculate easily in your head. It requires almost like a pen and paper to really figure out a lot of that crap, and then just remembering like all the DNS servers and stuff. You're just like, screw it, I'm just going to set the IPv4. Inevitably, that's what happens with like almost every AT guy. So I get it. Yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna leave it. I agree with you though. Yeah, it does need to be replaced though. Approve. Squash and merge. Moving on. What else do we have? Oh, dude, I'm gonna have to pick up my wife soon. Oh God, I hope she didn't call me. No, she hasn't. Okay, good. Oh, Tailscale. Tailscale is a beautiful but scary work of software. Everyone loves Tailscale that uses it in like stuff. Personally, I try and block all Tailscale stuff. Now, it's hard to block because it really doesn't, I mean, there are ports that it runs across, but it can run across almost anything. And to me, it feels like the best virus software ever made. Not from like it's going to infect your system, but to me, it just looks like a one giant security hole. Tailscale itself. So I like to block almost all Tailscale. And, you know, I just think back. I went to like a security symposium, and I remember this was years and years ago. So it was even before I even started YouTube. So we're talking like almost 10 years ago. And even back then, the keynote speaker said something that kind of stuck in my brain. And, you know, let's ask chat. Do you know what the most successful security breach software in history, at least at the time, it's probably not so much anymore. It's probably something a little bit different now, but maybe not. This would have been circa 2017, 2018. What do you think was the worst software that you install on any system that caused breaches in businesses? Telnet, Avast. It's not an antivirus piece of software. I'll give you a hint. It's not even a utility in the general sense of like a cleanup utility. It's not that either. SolarWinds. I mean, honestly, SolarWinds and what, Kaspersky? Remember Kaspersky? Not Kaspersky. Avaya. No, that's a phone. God, Kaseya. God, it's all these fancy damn names. Anyways, Kaseya was what I was thinking. But no, it's not that either. It's not SolarWinds, Kaseya, AnyDesk. Nope. Not Log Me In. And when I say it, you're going to be like, damn, that's actually installed on my system right now, probably. A lot of people. All right, here we go. Everyone's like, all right, stop edging us. It makes so much sense. Dropbox. Why is that a giant security hole? Because almost everything from a permissions perspective and from network stuff is drag and drop on people's personal Dropboxes across businesses everywhere. And then that shit gets synced to their systems at their house and everywhere. It's almost impossible to control the permissions of it. So Dropbox is actually probably the greatest security threat to almost every business out there, at least at the time. Nowadays, there's just so many different ways to do it. But the cloud is the answer. But yeah, nobody uses Dropbox these days. This is a while back. But it makes you think of like OneDrive and a lot of other things that people still use today. And I'm always like, oh, just seems like a bad idea. The cloud might have been a mistake. But that's where most security breaches and other things happened back in the day. People taking documents that they shouldn't have gotten and copying to their personal Dropboxes. Lots of sci-sec researchers use Dropbox. That's funny. They still use Dropbox, but that's kind of funny. Yeah, OneDrive's always been crap. You remember it used to be called SkyDrive? Back in the day? Oof. All right. Pull down changes real fast. Yeah, find a self-hosted solution, Tailscale with my own server, not their network. I mean, that's kind of where Tailscale, that's when people, chat was mentioning Tailscale, it's kind of what made me think of it. It felt like a more modern day Dropbox. Am I having errors here? What the hell? There we go. Rename WPBT execution. What are we renaming it? Yeah, that's good. And I don't think that's referenced. Ooh, you know what? It might be referenced in MicroWin. Let's double check. Just to make sure. Nah, it's not referenced anywhere. There's a manual enable for MicroWin, but Coding Wonders already went ahead and did that through straight direct tweak, so we're good. That's the only thing I was wondering about. Just use my own CLI scripts. I think that's where most people go. But I mean, everyone should probably disable WPBT execution. So if you're not familiar, this is like your crap software that's been exploited a umpteenth times. Essentially, this allows vendors to load drivers on your system before boot in like a ring 0 environment. So basically kernel level. Think of like MSI, ASUS, you know, crappy Armor Grate and all that. All these systems can load shit into your Windows before your system even boots using WPBT. So I think it was ASUS that ran. I think their server got compromised for damn near 8 months, 6 to 8 months. There's probably someone in the cybersecurity in chat that could probably correct me here. But anyways, yeah, they were running an absolutely compromised server to thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of systems, exploiting Windows users using WPBT. So don't ever run Windows without disabling WPBT. Speaking of which, probably should change this to an essential tweak. It's not really advanced. There's really no downside to disabling it. It really should never be enabled on any system. It's just like, hey, Microsoft here, we're going to just go ahead and open up another security hole. Par for the course. Anyways, yeah, that's fine. We can rename that. Makes sense to me, man. Oh, Razor snaps. God, I hate Razor. All right, what do we got here? Removing tweak storage from the standard and disabling storage sense. I think we added this back in, to give some history context here, Gabby. We added this back in 1807. Or maybe it's 1803. And we did it because Storage Sense was deleting people's files. People think Microsoft all of a sudden overnight became shit. But no, it's always been bad. It's just a lot of people didn't even realize it until just now. Anyways, yeah, that's fine. We can leave it enabled, I guess. I mean, what's chat's thought on Storage Sense? Has it become okay? I just don't trust him regardless on almost anything. Yeah, 1807 was a great year. Yeah, alright, we'll leave Storage Sense, I guess. People have a short memory. This is true. What people are enraged about today, tomorrow they will completely forget. I think it's fine now. Alright. No. They fixed it pretty quick on Storage Sense. I don't know. It just felt like... But I think if you're an advanced user, you're probably going in to disable this regardless. Maybe we could add it to an advanced tweak. I don't think we'll remove it altogether, actually. Let's check this out. Let's remove it from the standard tweaks. Because honestly, normal users probably should leave it enabled because they're never going to clean up their temp files. But advanced users might actually want storage tweaks. But let's move it to advanced. Do you think that's a good compromise? I feel like that's a solid compromise. Yeah. So I probably would change this to advanced, and then let's just check this out, and we'll make the changes. All right, we're gonna check out the pull request, and we're gonna go to tweaks, and we're just gonna take that. We'll add that back in, but we are going to change to advanced. Let's grab that. And we'll put it in advanced tweaks. We'll make it a 25. Boom. Sound good?
Yeah, well, the dude abides.
EM2, thank you for the prime. I like it. Let's say move storage sense to advanced tweaks. Approve. Save. Let's go ahead and commit that to advanced tweaks. Commit this change. Gravy. And we'll sync that. Come back into our PR. Close others. And yeah, let's just improve. Sorry. Yeah. All right, merge. Squash and merge. We probably should check this out, and we've done enough PRs to where we should probably check to see how we're doing. Ooh, description update real fast while we're here. Let's go to main branch real fast. Pull these down. All right. Let's do another compile run. And we're going to just look to make sure those standard tweaks, we'll push it over. Alrighty, tweaks. Disable storage sense is down here now. All good to go. I like it. I do need to fix this ordering. I feel like I should probably just... No, I'll fix it in the JSON. On the WinUtil projects, we made a little Python script to go ahead and auto alphabetize everything. Probably could make something similar for WinUtil. Not today, though. We'll wait another day. Okie doke. Description update. What are we updating? Don't we need to move the docs? Oh crap, I forgot about that. Excuse me. Yeah, that's pretty good. Can I use Windows 7? No. Use Linux, bro. If you need to go back to Windows 7, you've lost the plot. There's no going back. Just switch to Linux or just use your phone at this point. Or go buy a Mac. Those are your options. I'm on 98. That's funny. Yeah, you disable it in your BIOS, not in Windows. What was this tweak doing? Why was this ever added? Bruh, I don't even remember adding this. Yeah, I can't even remember why this was ever added. Maybe I was just having a happy day and I just decided to accept every damn pull request that came my way on that day. But yeah, I don't even know why that was ever brought in. Anywho. Oh, we got conflicts? Let's resolve the conflict, shall we? Not allowing me to do that. Usually there's a button. I'm not real familiar with that. Let's go. mobile.events.data.microsoft.com. I guess you could probably do a host entry for that EM2. What the hell is mobile.events.data.microsoft? Is it their telemetry? Okay, it's a data collector. Huh. Well, I guess it's a VS Code thing. You can turn telemetry off, reload, toggle shared process dev tools, no longer there. Mobileevents.microsoft.com. Kind of how I was thinking of doing it. Like, obviously, doing this would probably be a good way of making sure the program doesn't try and contact out. But let's say there is something that your system's reaching out. God, I think I was using my Simple Wall back in the day. It was like a little third-party app. But anyways, I like showing people just how to do it regular. Let's go C, Windows, System 32, drivers, hosts. Oh, it might be etc hosts, actually. Yeah. And let's open it in VS Code. So then you could do like 127.0.1 and just throw like a mobile events like that in. Retry as admin, boom. And then it blocks all Microsoft events. And kablow, should be fixed. So that's one way of doing it if you wanted to block mobile.events, but probably the proper way if you're talking about here. I think they said it's here and then under telemetry. So, no. Yep. And then data we collect. Let's go off. Disables all product telemetry. So let's turn that off. And then you got acquisition, enable telemetry. Nope. Enable usage. Add it. Anything else? Yeah, so this would turn off most telemetry. So if you use VS Code, that's probably what's contacting it. But just in case, you could add that to your host file. Either way, probably stop that from happening. Oh yeah, sorry. We had a conflict. That's right. I'm 100% they vibe coded new Windows version. Definitely some of it. Definitely some of it was vibe coded. Let's resolve some conflicts. What do we got? Yep. It's just this one? I see what happened. So it wants to grab this one as well. I'm not going to accept either one, really, actually. So what we'll do is just grab this. I know this drives people crazy when I do this in the browser, but when in Rome. All right, anyways. That'll fix it. I should have been working from the oldest to the newest, but alas, here we are. We'll wait for the checks to go through just to make sure our unit tests pass, and then we'll squash and merge. .0.0
Yeah,
in the
well,
host file. Yeah, that would work too.
The dude abides.
Dragon Skies, thanks for the prime. 26 months, my goodness. Why VS Code, not Codium? Actually, for a while there, I was using Codium, but the marketplace kept crashing, or I had issues for a little bit, and I was like, screw it, I'll just use code. So that's the reason. No other reason. Codium's obviously preferred because they strip out all the telemetry, period. But I did notice that sometimes the marketplace came problematic. And I was like, no, let me get that done. All right, we're good. Can you add a toggle for disabling NP SM service? It will disable the lock screen and multiplayer. Really? NPM SM service? I don't think I've ever heard of that. Let's go services.msc. What you talking about, Willis? NP SM? What the hell's natural authentication? Signal aggregator service that evaluates signals based on time, network, geolocation. Sounds awful. Now playing media service? Oh, there it is. Interesting. Oh, but you can't disable it here. I see. That's probably why we don't have it in there. Might need to do that through the registry. Okay. Well, I'll have to think on that. Shoop. All right. The wife called. I have to go pick her up, so it is time to shut it down for the day. We got through some good pull requests. That was kind of fun. So much. We'll get through some more of these. I'll try and do some of this offline probably, so we're not just doing pull requests forever and ever on live on stream. Yeah. It was fun though. Always something to learn, you know? Windows is always doing some shenanigans. At this point in time, it's okay. I don't mind it. It is what it is. I'm so used to it. It's just like another day. Yeah. Yeah, don't make her wait. Oh, that's bad. Nobody likes wife aggro. So, all right, guys. I'm out. Y'all have a fantastic weekend. I'll see you guys next week. I'll definitely stream. Probably not 3 days next week. I still need to do a video on the main channel. I just haven't been around for that. And then Christmas break happens, and I won't be streaming at all for Christmas break. And probably the new year after that. So, but next week, streams as usual. Usually, I think I'll probably do 2 streams, not 3 streams next week, and then we'll break, and then we'll hit the new year up. But in the meantime, stay safe out there. All right, y'all. Have a good one.